How's it, everybody? Welcome back to the Nomasburg region. It's Sanctum Gamer here. It's the 7th episode, and I want to start off by thanking you all for the support that you are showing on the series. Special thanks to everybody who's chosen to support the channel on Patreon or on YouTube membership. On YouTube membership. Your support is highly appreciated. So today we're starting off with setting up just a little bit of rail infrastructure. So I've put down 2 railroads, and the idea is that these 2 are going to serve as one, the industrial line, and the other will serve as the passenger or commercial line that will carry people between the towns that are going to exist on the map. Now, I am no rail guru, so at least for now I just put down these 2 railroads. I don't know if I'm going to convert them into one-way railroads, but I'll see how the future, what the future holds. For now, they're really there as placeholders, and if I do connect them up, at least they will still kind of be functional. So here we will be continuing on that residential area that I started in the last episode. Since this is kind of the outskirts of the town, it's going to be heavily residential. So we're going to actually spend a lot of time this episode putting down a lot of houses, and then we'll work on the little thing on the hill that originally I was actually not meant to do that in this episode. I'd actually planned to do something completely different, but then when I saw the way things shaped up and I got to that hill, I was like, you know what, I needed to change kind of strategies and replan, the layout of this town. So just starting off, we're gonna put down all of these houses, and again, I really wanted this place to be a heavily residential area. So there's going to be just pretty much a lot of houses, and in this kind of first part of the residential area, I take the time to kind of show how a lot of the stuff is put down, but later on in the episode I actually start cutting away quite a bit because it's going to be repetitive. So nothing too wow around here. It's a lot of residential building like I've done kind of in the past. It's not too much to say about it, so I'm not going to labor on too much. I'm going to let some music play and then have you just focus on the build, and then I'll come back in once we start working on this little area on the hill. Oh, just so I suppose it's clear, is there's going to be just residential houses, and then we'll put down some commercial space as well. We'll put down a small little school in this area that I'm building right now, but again, nothing too fancy, nothing too wow. Okay, enjoy the build and I'll see you in a bit. So here we're basically now crossing this railway just to set up sort of the road infrastructure that will take us up to this thing that I'm building. So I honestly don't know what this is. I don't want to say it's a castle. It's not. That was not my intention. It'll probably be more of a type of church. I think it's too small to be considered a cathedral. So in all honesty, I don't know what I was building here. I just wanted something, I suppose semi-iconic sitting on this hill. So yeah, I think I'll be putting this out and letting somebody else come up with a story for what exactly this is, because I don't know what it was. I just wanted to build something that looked kind of nice up on this hill, and I wanted it to be supported by this heavily cliffed face with a lot of rocks, and I wanted to make it look like there were just these heavy rocks that were chipped into in order to make way for this railroad to cross. And I just wanted all these rocks all over the place. Now these rock assets, actually editing them kind of the way that I edit my videos was actually quite a challenge, and it's been for quite a while, and I'm still trying to work out what's the best way to put them in, the lowering of them, twisting them, because with Move It, whenever you rotate an asset, as you finish that rotation, it shoots the assets off to where the mouse is, and then you have to move it back to where you want to place it. And that little niggle kind of, it really gets to me. So I always have to try my best to edit it out. But it's fine. It's a challenge to how I want to edit my stuff. And that's something that I generally always keep in mind whenever I get a new mod or assets and stuff like that, is how am I going to handle, its little, I don't know the nuances of it. Is if it doesn't fit into how well I can edit it when it comes to my videos, I generally tend to stay away from it. But yeah, it's always interesting whenever I get a new asset like these rocks and how I can put it in. Anyway, I digress. So this winding path, originally I'd wanted it to be a road, but the roads just wouldn't behave at all. So I decided to change it into a path, and that will go all the way down to the area that will be developed a bit later on. And I really wanted it to make it look like, because this place is so high up, just to get there, I suppose the locals had to really get these roads and paths to kind of meander around all sorts of places in order to get up to it. But yeah, around here, I wanted the place to look fairly nice, so I wanted to put down all these flowers, all these bushes and trees, and this rock that kind of is falling over into the parking lot. It wasn't intentional at first, but then when I saw it, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it there. We can just say that, I don't know, these rocks were there and these people decided to just build everything into the natural surroundings. And then here is the cliff face on the other side going off into the river, and I really wanted this place to be overgrown. I wanted it to be lots of trees. The only thing is that the cliff here is actually very sharp. I didn't kind of smooth it out a bit, allowing me to make it more overgrown. But I think it's fine. I like the rocks actually showing up. And then here I use this new terraform assets that have like varying widths, which is really cool because I could put it down and then just elevate it to get the ground to flatten out nicely. Because using the terraforming tools, because of all the roads around here, the buildings, you just couldn't get a nice smooth ground kind of elevated, but this terraforming tool actually allowed me to do that very nicely. So I laid this down, and I thought I would put down some kind of a play area. So whatever this place is, when people come, there's a place outside that the kids can go and run around. The kids can just play. There's some slides there. And yeah, I thought it's a nice area that that parents can leave their slightly older kids to just chill, or they can chill there with the kids, just sit down, relax, and just allow the kids to run around. I think the only thing that I overlooked here was some kind of a commercial type space where people can buy, like foods and stuff. But maybe at some point in the future we'll add something somewhere. And then this area is kind of the final residential area that we're gonna put in place. So I wanted it to be like a lot of cul-de-sac. I wanted it to be, just residential with like one small commercial space that we will put. And because this place is also again quite low lying, I thought I would put this dike around the edge to kind of make it look like they've taken the time to ensure that the river does not overflow into this area. And yeah, you saw what I was talking about earlier about the fact that there's a lot of residential stuff. It's quite repetitive, so I try to edit out as much of the placing of the house as I can. And again, this is one of those cases where I wanted to find a nice way that I could do those transitions. Now, back in the little town days, I did some other techniques where I used the music to move around the camera and put down houses. I'll try and do more stuff like that. It's just I could not find anything that kind of suited, that had the beats in a way that I could do those transitions. So I'm still trying to look for stuff like that. I didn't want to repeat the same audio tracks from Little Town, but I'll see. Maybe in future episodes I might just do that, refer back to them. But yeah, we're going to put down all of these houses. Again, it's because it's on the outskirts. I wanted to have a couple of farms and gardens in people's backyards. People taking the time to just do, small amounts of gardening. And then around here is just a small little commercial space that I wanted to put down, because this place is, kind of, I suppose, far away from where all the commercial areas are going to be. I thought one or two shops around here that allows people to come and just do their quick grocery shopping for those small things that they need: bread, tomatoes, I don't know, that kind of stuff. They can simply run around to the corner and get it. And then this dike that I've actually put there, I really like this nature part, because it allows people to actually walk on it. So it's a nice way of connecting up all of these areas to kind of different places. So we're going to be putting down a ferry stop as well. So this path served as a nice way to actually connect up this whole area to that place. And then just putting down a few more gardens in people's backyards, and then greening up the whole place to, I suppose, complete the place. And the placing down of these houses actually takes a very long time, and that's why I try to cut it out. And this is the final place. So we'll just put down more houses, we'll finish off the area, and then this area which I put down, this cul-de-sac, this was a very late decision to put down the ferry stop here. We're not going to connect up the ferry just yet. There's one more ferry stop that I want to build, and then we'll connect it up between here and Gizerton, which was the first ferry stop that we built way back in, I think it was episode 2. So I wanted to also leave that little sort of like mashy area, just keeping it natural. All right, and that's it. So just finish decorating this place up, and then that'll be that for this episode. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments and likes below, and I shall catch you in the next one. Cheers.